Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, February 11th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about the tool of technical analysis and charts and how it can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick before I get to the watch list, I do want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class. So if you're liking what you see as I go through the video and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can be used, how it should be used to build consistency, then definitely get signed up for the class. With that being said, depending on when you watch this video, it's going to dictate a few things, because if you're watching this on Friday morning, then yes, the class has already happened. Or if you already have something on your schedule this evening and you can't make it live, that's okay, but the live event will be recorded. So after the recording's done and I get it uploaded, I'd be happy to send you a link. So if you're not able to attend live, then just go ahead, drop me an email, and I'll gladly send you an email, or I'll reply back with a link to the event. So just keep that in mind, that if you're liking what you see, then certainly get signed up for the class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can click on, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage. Or like I said, again, if you can't make it because you have something on your schedule, or you've just flat out missed it because it's Friday morning and you're watching this, just go ahead and send me an email. A couple of quick clarification points. First off, the market is still open for a little while, so you're not crazy. You're not seeing things. That price is still indeed changing over there. And then also, I will be using the 30-minute time frame for all of these. So if you're new to trading and charts, all that means is that each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So first one, SBY, which is an ETF, exchange traded fund, that basically tells you what's going on with the S&P 500, or in other words, the entire market. And it was a crazy, crazy day today. Inflation data came out, caused the gap down, and then what was looking like a complete recovery just massively, massively collapsed. And not just, because it went red, but from a technical point of view, the reason I say, it massively collapsed and it was, a very rough day is if I get this trend line in play right here, you can see that the trend line right there is not, well, it's actually bounced back. So, but you can see it's flirting right at that trend line. Last time I looked at it, that trend line had been completely, broken, but there has been a little bounce here. But the point here being is this is a very, very interesting dynamic headed into Friday from a technical point of view. Is this about to fail, or is this trend line going to potentially create a bounce like it's done before? Now, there are no guarantees in the market, but my point here is it's definitely valid. It's definitely logical to be thinking in a couple different ways. It's totally logical for people to be thinking, you know what? I want to play some shorts. I want to pick up some puts, because I can see that maybe this trend line is about to fail. But I can also see, no, it's bounced from there before. I think it's going to bounce again. So I can see people maybe playing, buying calls, or just playing it from the upside point of view. But the point here is that a lot of people have drawn that trend line, and a lot of people are going to be wondering, okay, what happens next in regards to that level? And that's why risk management matters, because somebody's going to be wrong, somebody's going to be right in regards to that area. But that doesn't take away from the fact that from the technical point of view now, the overall markets is at a very, very interesting level. So let's see how the price behaves relative to that trend line on Friday. Next one here, AMC, like the markets, a crazy, crazy day. Started off extremely nice. I mean, came up, broke through that level of resistance right there, and then just made a huge move. But then basically collapsed all the way back down. Now, is this a bad or good looking chart? Well, this is where it depends comes into play. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, you bought right there. Maybe you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, 7 minutes. Well, then yeah, from that perspective, the chart looks terrible. Now, if you care about things from the big picture point of view, I understand the price pulled back a significant amount. But let me just get rid of that line right there. Whoops. And I'm not saying that this will happen, but let's say the price actually does come down to that green line and then just kind of stabilizes out right there. Now, emphasis here on big picture. From the big picture perspective, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows there. You'd have lows there, you'd have lows down here. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, what do you have? Well, from the big picture, you would still have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So from the overarching standpoint, even with the big pullback today, the overall trend is still okay. But again, a matter of perspective, because yeah, you day traders out there, if anybody bought right there, from that point of view, the chart looks really bad. Next one, SNDL, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched the previous video, but if you didn't, I'll give you the recap here. I talked about that resistance right up there around, 58-ish cents, and you can see that, this morning got the breakout, and then this is what is just, a fake breakout because it broke out. So I can see why people might have been buying there saying, okay, here we go. And then just a savage move as the breakout completely failed. But once again, like AMC, is this a bad or good looking chart? Well, I don't know your perspective. If you were a breakout player and you bought right there and your goal was to buy and sell within 20 minutes, well then yeah, from that angle, the chart looks really bad. But if you care about things from the big picture point of view, then like AMC, it's perfectly fine. If you have, if you picture those as some lows and those as lows and those as lows, and then envision those as stair steps, overall, you can see the trend is still in the upwards direction. So yes, there's no doubt about it. A very savage move right there to act like it wanted to break out and then completely fail. Yeah, that's brutal. But that doesn't mean that, one brutal day doesn't destroy an entire chart, because as you just saw, the entire chart is still building those higher bases. So we'll see if that overall trend can continue on moving forward. Next one here, Uber, and just pretty much a nasty move on this one. I mean, first 30 minutes was all over the place, and then from there just bled and bled and bled. And there was even a trading halt during the day, which just shows how crazy things got. But I think the level that a lot of people will be watching, so this is not some sort of great discovery on my part. I'm not trying to imply that this is, a great skill or anything, but I assure you, a lot of people around the world will be watching that pink line there, which on my chart denotes the very famous 200 period moving average, currently valued at 36.75. And I emphasize a lot of people watching it, because when lots of people are watching the same levels, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movements, and that's what we have right here. So if the price goes down there, am I saying that it's guaranteed to bounce? Of course not. No guarantees. But is it plausible? Is it a valid thought that, yeah, I could see the price potentially bouncing off that area? It absolutely is. But that's also going to be a level where the shorts are watching and thinking, okay, well, if the price does not bounce from there, then that could be a leading indicator that there's going to be even more selling pressure that shows up. So one of those situations where somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong, or maybe nothing happens, because to be fair, maybe the price doesn't even go down to that level. But if it does, definitely lots of eyeballs will be watching. Next one here, GRAB, and really, fought off what a lot of stocks were not able to fight off today from the overall markets. Had a little bit of a pullback here, but, as you've seen, nothing drastic or anything like that. In all actuality, has now formed a very nice pattern, which, again, along the lines of self-fulfilling prophecy, this is not a pattern that requires like some sort of great skill to see. I assure you, people around the world that are watching this one have noticed this pattern, so you can, once again, make the argument that you could have some self-fulfilling prophecies, with the top of the pattern being up there at 660, and then you have more so the bottom of the pattern right around here. So let me change that to green to represent more so the bullish attribute of the pattern. And then just to make this all one color to ideally make it a bit easier to see, we have our resistance there. We have our support there. We have the momentum move right there. And if I put a little golf hole down here to make it more visual, this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So if you like bull pennants, that are occurring in overall uptrends, which this one is, as you can see here, that in fact the 50 period is now crossed up through the 200 period moving average. And then also, if you like to play the sub $10 price range, I would definitely have this one on your watch list. Next one here, METX, and this is on here for just a very simple reason, nothing fancy at all. It is a penny stock, and I know those are popular, but I mean, check out this volume surge this afternoon, and then the price has behaved very nicely with it. So this is all just one question. Okay, is this the start of something bigger? Now, think about that question. What needs to happen for me to even be able to ask that question? Well, you needed to have a volume surge, and that volume surge needed to produce some nice upwards price movement. So something has happened, but so that's a big step in the right direction. But I mean, to be fair, I don't know, is this just a one-day pop? Is this thing just going to collapse? Who knows? Maybe this is the start of something bigger, and before we know it, this thing's going to be up at 50 cents. I don't know, but what I do know is that something worthwhile happened today, so it's at least worth keeping an eye on. Because no, a chart, nothing's going to tell you what's going to happen next, because there are no guarantees. But what is being conveyed here is that, wow, great volume, great price movement, so who knows? Could this be the start of something much bigger? We'll have to see what happens. So if you like to play penny stocks, then this one should definitely be on your watch list. Next one here, PLTR, and I'm going to go through these relatively quickly because it's the same general idea of, is this a bad or good looking chart? Well, it depends. So again, day traders that were buying up there wanted to sell relatively quickly. Yeah, chart's not looking good. But from the overall standpoint, especially in this one's case, when I get this trend line in play, you can see that the overall trend is still plenty fine. I mean, the price, in all actuality, isn't anywhere even close to that. In fact, let me get that changed once again to green to represent more of a bullish dynamic here. But as of now, the price isn't anywhere even close to that. In fact, to give full credit's due, the price is still up above that purple line there, still above the 200 period moving average right there, and then still above that trend line. So yeah, that right there, a pretty nasty pullback. But has that destroyed the overall chart, the overall trend here that's been building over the past couple of weeks? It has not. So is this a bad or good looking chart? I'm not sure. And honestly, did I say the ticker symbol? It's PLTR if I didn't say it. I think I did, but I'm getting old, so maybe I didn't quite remember it. But overall, yeah, day traders, depending on where you bought, not so good. But from a general perspective, as you see here, the trend is still fully intact. Next one, AMD, and the big significant movement that happened today is in regards to that purple line there, which, as I've said, a very well-known 50-period moving average, and the price came down there, and not only did it break below it, it just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. So from an overarching standpoint, does that mean the entire chart's destroyed? It doesn't. I mean, this thing is still in an uptrend here, but it does suggest that, yeah, there could certainly be some more selling pressure to come. But if there is any sort of attempted bounce back in the upwards direction, key area of resistance is going to be that 50 paired moving average, and that's just based on just a basic principle in charting that when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance, and the current value of that is right there at 128. And if the price does pull back more, which I think there's a likelihood that this thing could pull back a bit more here because it broke through that moving average, 122 is going to be the next key level of support, followed by the pink line down there, the 200 period moving average at 118.50. But I'll admit, yeah, probably getting a little ahead of ourselves thinking about or talking about that one right now. But overall, yeah, rough day today, but we'll see if this thing ultimately does bounce. Can it get up through 128? And then full disclosure, I definitely place these ones in a certain spot within the watch list here just to convey a point. So here we have NVDA NVIDIA, and this is what would have been nice for AMD. Notice how this one came down and bounced oh so beautifully right off that purple line, that 50 period moving average. And then in candlestick jargon, we have what would be known as a hammer candle here. So hammer candle at an upsloping 50 period moving average. Does that mean that this thing is for sure going upwards? Of course not. There are no for sure's. But is it plausible? Is it valid to think that, okay, maybe this pullback is over, maybe this pullback is going to get some consolidation and then maybe a move back upwards? Yes, that is plausible. Again, not guaranteed to happen, which is why you better have risk management protocols within your strategy. But again, our job as traders is to do and come up with plausible thought processes. And it is more than plausible to think that with a hammer candle at the 50 period moving average, that this could be signaling maybe a continuation back up of the trend, but we'll have to see what happens with it. But if you're somebody that likes to play pullbacks within overall uptrends, then I'd definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one here is Tesla, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that have watched past videos, but put that trend line in place, and I was very curious about it. And I mean, check this out. That opening 30 minutes bounced right off of that trend line. Beautiful. The power of charts. Why? Are charts perfect? No. Are they a useful tool? Absolutely. So if you can make the class, definitely get signed up for it or shoot me an email because this is a great tool to use as traders. But right there, nice bounce, came back down, and then you can see once again, look at that, was hovering around that green line, but ultimately did fail. So we have basically the exact opposite of METX, where we're saying, hey, is this the start of something bigger to the upside? For Tesla is, okay, is this actually the start of something bigger to the downside? Now, again, no guarantees. So maybe it's not. Maybe Tesla is getting ready to just boom, back up it goes. Completely rational. But is it also rational to think that, trend line broken, this could be the start of a bigger move to the downside? Yes, that is certainly more than rational also. So that's definitely going to be the main dynamic here. And once more, to talk about the self-fulfilling prophecies, I assure you, a bunch of people have drawn that trend line in place around the world. That's not a great discovery on my part. And a bunch of people have now noticed that the trend line has been broken. So what kind of self-fulfilling prophecy is going to take place? Like I said, from the bearish side, it seems more than valid to think that this could pick up some more downside pressure here, but we'll have to see what happens. But overall, from a technical point of view, a very, very, I should know, just because it's Tesla, who knows? If this thing does bounce, then check out this area right up here at basically the 945 mark. 945, although not relevant right now, is certainly going to be one of those areas where if the price comes up here and breaks up through there, then that could create a big old self-fulfilling prophecy from breakout players, that could cause that much more upside pressure. So just in case something crazy happens on Tesla and the price goes up to that area, that'll be another highly watched level. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here, if you want to learn more about this tool, how it should be used as traders to help build consistency, then get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be, depending on when you watch this evening, Thursday, February 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But like I said, if you're watching this video on Friday morning, for example, then it will have been recorded. So just shoot me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you an email to it. Or like I said, if you already have something on your schedule this evening, then still drop me an email and that point of view. And when the class is done and over with and uploaded, I'll then send it to you. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, please help me out with a couple of things. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment below. Let me know what you traded today. Say hi. Tell me what I should be watching tomorrow. Maybe I left something off the watch list that you thought should be on it. So let me know those things down in the comment section. But you hitting the like button and leaving a comment below communicates to me that you're enjoying these videos. And when people are interacting with these videos, then I have no problem at all continuing, to put them together. So hopefully I'll see you, tonight live on the class. But if not, certainly shoot me an email and I'll send you a copy of it.